Have you ever looked at something and you say, wow, that just doesn't make sense? Well, guess what? I really believe that most things in life, they should make sense. They should follow some rhyme or reason, and they should follow some cadence. This is not to say that life is predictable or that you can figure everything out. There are some things that are simply destined to be a mystery. However, I think that having a fundamental understanding of things is essential to having a joyous, happy life. For example, economics. Economics is complicated. I mean, it is really complicated. But if you understand simple supply and demand, if you understand supply chains and things like that, I mean, just at a very cursory level, at a very high level, you'll understand why it is that something costs more at different times. And by doing that, you'll be less dismayed when the price of something goes up because you'll understand that there's some economic power at work behind the scenes. Likewise, even our bodies are tremendously complex. I mean, even doctors practice medicine, they don't master it. So the thing is that if we understand that there are certain things in the way that our body works, like for example, if we eat too much sugar, or if we eat too much salt, or if we don't exercise, or if we don't get enough sleep, or if we don't drink enough water, that there are consequences to that. And you need to know that at least a simple fundamental level. Likewise, your car. You go out and you start your car and you don't even give it a second thought. You get in, you put the key in the ignition, or if you have one of these newfangled deals, you get in and push the button, or if you have a Tesla, you just get in and put your foot on the brake and put it in gear. In any case, there are complex things that are going on behind the scenes when you drive your car. And you need to understand, at least at a fundamental level, why these things happen and how they're happening, because they have an impact on how the car drives, how you interact with the car, and how the car will react in an emergency situation. Listen, a friend of mine once said, make that make sense. And if you can't make it make sense, then basically you should leave it alone. I really believe that if you can't explain something simply, it's best to be left unexplained. Everybody has a different level of understanding. There are some people that basically have the same understanding as a kindergartner, and I'm talking about kindergartners too. I'm not being insulting to anyone. And then there are some people that understand things at a doctorate level. But in any case, nobody understands the full picture. Everybody has gaps in their understanding. What we need to do is make sure that in life that you're going through intentionally, and being intentional means gathering information. Listen, the person who has the best information is the person who usually wins. This is a key fundamental of success. If you have good information, you can make good decisions. And if you make good decisions, you'll be able to maximize your investment in your time, your talent, and your treasure. Very critical stuff here. So when I say this, make that make sense. And by the way, let me just give a shout out to my friend Tony Calloway, because he's the guy that came up with that. He always says, make that make sense. And I'm really into that. That's why, from a spiritual standpoint, I'm looking at things from a quantum physics level nowadays. This is where I am. And it's not to say that I've abandoned any of my faith or anything like that. It's just that through quantum physics, my understanding of it, which is not very vast, by the way, because I'm not a physicist, but I have a better understanding of things from a spiritual level by understanding things at the quantum level. And it's something that's growing. And that's another thing. Make sure that in all of your understanding, in all of your learning, that you're constantly growing, that you're constantly evolving, that you're constantly gathering, gleaning new information, you're processing it, and then do a little bit of engineering, situational engineering, where you're taking the pieces of different information and assemble it different ways in your mind or on paper, or if you have some kind of modeling software, use that. But arrange things, rearrange things, and then take situations and reverse engineer them and try to figure out what the root cause is. Because if you do this, and again, at a cursory level, don't get bogged down in tremendous detail, because unless you are in a specific discipline and you're studying that particular subject matter, you will probably be disappointed. And I don't want you to get disappointed. I want you to be encouraged. But I'm going to tell you that knowledge is power. And the person who has the best information is the guy or the gal that will likely finish first or finish best. So that's what I have for you today, and I hope that's encouraging, and I will talk to you soon. Glad you tuned in. Hope to hear from you soon. If you like this video, please like and subscribe here, and I will see you on the other side of forward.